The following program contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey, greetings everybody. Doing this short video here because earlier today, while I'm out doing some Christmas stuff here, listening to the radio, listening to a talk show, and during this show, this guy calls up and he starts talking, and at first it didn't sound like the guy had a point, to what he was talking about, okay? But then about midway through his point, okay, he says something that was pretty interesting, and gave me some, how can I say, got my brain to work, thinking about stuff. And so I thought, I'd probably, I'd like to just share with you what was said, and they were talking about the shooting in Colorado, okay, at the Club Q. And, there was, the talk about guns and, people, these people, like, the guy that got the guns shouldn't have got them because he had a criminal record. But somehow, when he bought the guns, he got through the system and he still got them. So, that was kind of the topic they were going at. Then it was said that the other problem isn't so much guns, it's the fact that people have no tolerance for differences in this country, and we're not quite sure why that's happened, because we founded this country on the acceptance of differences living with us, because everything about the founding of the country was supposed to be about inviting people from different parts of the world to live here, right? So obviously that meant we would accept differences, but that didn't happen, okay? So then the guy, the caller, had said, well, how many times have you heard about a member of the LGBTQ community going into a club full of straight people and shooting everybody in there that he could? And I was like, that kind of gave me a little bit of a dizziness, thinking, whoa, yeah, that's true, and he said that, look, we have a level of intolerance here that is only coming from one side. It isn't the whole country, it's just one side of the country, and it's straight white people, okay? Because then he kind of went through this litany of, how the blacks were persecuted by this white people and the straight white, and on down the list to today, and saying it's always been that aspect of our society that just can't seem to grapple with difference. But yet the other side, especially the gay community, you don't hear about violence, okay? They tolerate more than we could possibly ever know just for being who they are. And they don't come back in vengeance, and they don't try to do something to get even, you know what I'm saying? They take it on the chin every friggin' day. And so, if there's anybody that deserves to hold the mantle of America, it's them, because they're the ones that are accepting of differences, not the white people, the straight whites. And I was thinking, that's a good point, and then I wanted to go a step further, because I was thinking about how, in Star Trek, the theme is there that people are accepting of the LGBTQ community. It's fact. It's almost like it's not a big thing. Everybody just knows you can accept affection and acceptance from anybody. All right, and that to be bigoted and racist and stuff that's like caveman thinking. Okay, and that someday in the future humanity will evolve beyond that, and there won't be any more of that kind of stuff happening. You won't hear that gun crimes and all that stuff happening anymore, because people will accept more, and there won't be any need for them to go buy guns and kill each other. And I'm thinking, maybe that's where we are right now today as a society. We're at the point where humanity is struggling with itself to evolve. And we're trying to evolve from bigoted thinking. We're trying to get ourselves away from that. Okay? And I apologize for the lack of light here, okay? Because I'm doing this and it's like 5 o'clock and it gets dark early here in the state. But I'm saying is that we're going through a point as a race of evolution where we're going to have more of these battles. There will be more lives will be lost because we're trying to strip away our racist nature. And I'm not trying to excuse what's happening, okay? I'm not. I'm just saying that every time humanity ever tried to evolve from something into something else, there's always a transition period that's bloody. Okay? And we're going through that again right now. We're trying to transition from being straight, the only accepting of straightness or whatever you want to call it, and trying to be more embracing of everyone. Because that's really the only way humanity can actually be more like the Christians say, in God's image. Because God doesn't have any racism against anybody, okay? He accepts all. And He wanted us to be in His vision, according to the Bible. He wanted us created in His vision to be like Him. And how are you going to do that as long as bigotry exists? You can't. So it has to be eradicated. It has to be removed, and the only way it can do that is by going through this period of evolution where we are putting straight people on the chopping block. Essentially, they have to be. Either they change to go with the evolution, or they are essentially removed from existence. Okay. And I'm not trying to say the LGBTQ community needs to go out and buy guns and facilitate this change. I'm saying that what they are doing is exactly the way Gandhi was trying to do in order to get England out of India. Okay, by being pacifist, by saying we're not going to accept you, but we're not going to fight you either. We're not going to hurt you. We're just going to take it on the chin, and eventually you'll get sick of it. And I'm saying that's more of a godly approach to having change than these straight white people think that, by killing everybody that will set everything straight. Okay, excuse the pun, but no. The answer isn't that. It's to allow nature to take care of itself, okay? It'll take its course. And if it means that the idea about being straight is good and all that has to die, then so be it. Okay? We shouldn't be upset about that. We should be saying, well, at least in the future, there'll be a whole lot less fighting going on in this country because people will just simply tolerate. And there won't be any need to tolerate because you accept everybody as who they are. And maybe a lot of stress, a lot of aggravation that we deal with on a day-to-day basis when we go out into public won't be there anymore, and people will just fucking get over it, and move on to more important things. Okay? Because believe it or not, we are faced with some other things that are way more important than what the guy's doing next door in his bedroom. Okay? We got a planet here that's changing and not in our favor. We're turning our planet against us. Eventually, it's not even going to be habitable for humans to live here if we keep doing what we're doing. So, we could be looking at the end of our own civilization here just by how we've been doing things in our society. Okay? But, on the other hand, we're also in a state of evolution from discarding a part of our thinking in favor of a more accepting and a more tolerant society. And that you can't do much more in the human race as far as advancing until you jump that hurdle, until you get over that hurdle. As long as that bigotry and stuff is still there, it's always going to hold the whole of the humanity back from becoming something better. Okay? We can't move forward, we can't go on so long as we have that albatross riding on our backs. Okay? And that's I think that's why all this is happening now, about, you know, this violence and all these things happening every day. We turn the TV on and there's another shooting in a church or another shooting. You know, it's all the intolerant people trying to fight to maintain their hold over society's throat, okay? To say that we're the right ones, they're the wrong ones, and you got to follow us, and if you don't, we're going to shoot you. You know, that's attitude is not a very Christian attitude, and these people are Christians, a lot of them that do this shit. That's not very Christian, okay? That's very mean-spirited, wrong, and I doubt even Jesus himself would even approve of that, okay? So I'm just saying, that's the side of us that's got to go. That's the side of humanity that must die, because we can't advance anymore as a race so long as we allow that to stay on us, okay? Really. And I don't really see any other way around this, but that's what I was thinking when I heard that. And as I was thinking, yes, we are being tasked right now, and we may not even be aware of it, that we are being tasked probably by a higher power to advance further, to evolve further, and that means we have to get rid of this racism once and for all. I mean, if there's one thing that I could wish that would disappear on this planet, is that. That's the biggest wish I think I could wish for the world, is that we don't have any more bigotry and racism, okay, period. That we would always be accepting, of each other. And I can't see how, you know, anybody who's ever lived on this planet, okay, would ever say that there's something else to wish for that's better. No, I don't think there is. I think the biggest wish that I would ask of anyone who could give wishes is that, look, it's time to end racism, it's time to end bigotry. That has got to go, period. Because that's what's holding us always back. That's what starts a lot of wars. That's what keeps the borders where they are. Okay? Do you realize that, you know, we're living on one planet, we're a one world civilization, and yet we got the arrogance to divide this planet up into sections because we can't accept this side, we can't accept that side, we can't accept them or them or them. We got to have our own, okay? And so the very idea that we have to have a United States in itself has borders and stuff like that, and is separate from Canada and Mexico, that doesn't really follow the thought, does it? That we're supposed to be accepting. Because if we were, we wouldn't have insisted on borders. We wouldn't insisted on boundaries between our different states. It would be open doors all the way around. And that's what we're striving to. At least I think that's what we're trying to strive to in the United States, or the America, is that we are just all on the same continent. And the only thing separating us from other continents is the water. Okay? That's it. And I think that's where we're supposed to be headed here as a society of human beings, is that we need to be like that. We need to say there's no borders anymore, okay? That we're all accepting of each other. We're all the same. We don't focus on any differences, okay? We look at each other. We're just different, you know, different individuals, okay? But we're all part of the same community. We're all part of the same race. We're humans, okay? I mean, you don't see animals, deer out there fighting other deer because they might have a spot on their body, the other ones don't. Okay? No, we got to be more like that. And I think that's what you know, the bottom line to Christianity is, that a lot of people don't want to dive to get to, is that bottom line. They don't want to accept that. They want to have the bigotry and racism there because they feel comfortable with having separations. They don't want to be like certain people. So anyway, that's it for this short video. Just something to think about.